Hello and welcome to another Stakenet tutorial video. In this video today I'm going to be showing you how to set up your first Masternode on a Windows local wallet, that will be the wallet on your PC, and a Linux server, which will also be known as a VPS. So the first things you need to do before you start off is make sure you've got the latest XSN Core wallet installed on your PC. You need to make sure you have your VPS all set up. If you don't have a VPS, I'll leave a link to a VPS provider in the description of this video. I'll also leave links inside my guide I'm going to release alongside this. So once you've got your VPS all set up, you need to make sure that you have exactly 15,000 XSN on a legacy address in your wallet. Now, the reason you need 15,000 is that's the collateral for a Masternode. In addition to this, you need to make sure that your 15,000 is on the legacy address. The way you can tell if it's a legacy address is your address will start with an X. If it starts with a 7, that means it's a SegWit address. So it's quite easy to tell if it's how to tell what type of address you have. You just go to your wallet, you go File, Receiving Addresses, and you can check there. As you can see, these addresses start with an X, which means they are a legacy address. If you don't have a legacy address, it's really easy to get. So, first thing you need to do is unlock your wallet. Then you need to go Tools, Debug Console. So the command that you'll enter is the get wallet address. So get new address, alias, legacy. Now, the alias inside the quotation marks can be changed. This is basically just going to give it a name. So there you go. You input that into the debug console, you press enter, and it's generated a new address. Now you can check that address by going File, Receiving Addresses again, and you can see I've got a new address named alias. In order to change it, just right click and go edit. You can call it whatever you want. Let's keep it consistent. And press OK. And that's the new address there. So what you need to do now is send 15,000 XSN exactly to that address that you've just generated. Now, after you've sent the 15,000 XSN, you go Settings, Options, Wallet, and you've got to enable coin features and Masternode tab. Once done, you'll press OK. You'll have a red message there saying you need to restart your wallet. So after pressing OK, please just restart your wallet and we'll be back on the same page. The next thing to do is go to your Send XSN tab once it's loaded. You've got a new option called Inputs, which is part of the coin control features. In there, you'll see that you have 15,000 spread across your addresses. It'll be on list mode when you first open it. So just tick that 15,000 one there, and what you want to do is right click and go Lock Unspent. The reason for this is you need to lock in the 15,000 XSN you're using as collateral for your Masternode. So if your address drops below 15,000, you'll no longer be able to run your Masternode because it won't have enough collateral to do it. So this is why we lock it. At the same time, you can also check what address your 15,000 XSS is on, and you can make sure it's on a legacy address. Then once you've locked it, by the way, let me just show you this quickly. If you ever want to unlock it, you just right click, Unlock Unspent, and that will cancel your Masternode's collateral. And then you can just go ahead and cancel your VPS and you can move the coins out any way you want. So, right now you've got your 15,000 on an address, you've locked it. The next thing you want to do is generate your Masternode key. So, you want to go over to Tools, Debug Console, and you want to type in this little nifty command called Masternode Gen Key. Yet again, as I said earlier, I will release a guide alongside this video with all the commands and a written version of what you need to do. So, generate your Masternode key and it will come there. So basically just copy this out and put it into a little notepad document like I'm doing here. And I'll show you everything you need to do. So I've got something saved there called Masternode Junkie, just for my reference, I know what it is. Now the next thing you want to do is Masternode Outputs. So copy that, paste it into there, and you'll get your Masternode output right here. You'll get a unique one for every Masternode you create, just like you need to create a unique gen key for each Masternode you want to do. You cannot reuse the same gen key. So get that and just paste it over here. So now what you need to do is we've got everything from the wallet that we need for the moment. So I'm going to give you a little rundown on the VPS. I'm not going to show you how to create it from scratch, which includes adding the files, but I will show you how to get the wallet, install the wallet on there. If you want a guide, I will include how to set it up from scratch, a Linux server. I'm going to be using Ubuntu, the 18.04 version. And I'll just tell you how to set it up from there. Now, when it comes to your server, a Masternode requires one unique IPv4. Generally, that's one server per Masternode. You can get servers that will offer you multiple IPv4s. This guide will not touch upon those. Personally, I just use one unique server. When it comes to the server specifications, you can find a link inside the Masternode channel inside Discord, or I'll include the little snippet there inside my guide. But generally the recommended version is the $10 VPSs. You can get away with using the minimum specs, which is the $5. But if you use those, you've got to note that when the specs do change and increase for a Masternode, you'll need to stop your Masternode and upgrade to those specs, which will offer some downtime because the Masternode, it can take about 3 days, a bit less. It depends how many Masternodes are active for you to receive your first reward. So it's better to be prepared, go for the $10 server, and you can just keep running from there. I mean, I'm not saying that the $10 will keep you going forever. It may change again, but you are safe because those are the recommended specs. So what we've covered now is that you need a unique IPv4. Generally, it's one server per Masternode. I'll show you how to install the wallet on there. Now, if you don't know what sort of program to use to run your VPS for your Masternode, I use PuTTY, and you can get it from putty.org. I'll leave a link in the description of the video again, and also within my guide. So, I'm just going to pause the video here while I'll get everything ready on my end, so please bear with me. Okay guys, welcome back. So I've now got PuTTY right here, and it's really simple to use, and the way you can use PuTTY to make your life easier is for Windows, if you copy and paste something, it's normally Control-C, Control-V. Now, PuTTY, using the SSH terminal, I believe it's called, you can't quite do that, but what you can do is you can copy and you can paste. So use the regular commands to copy from any Windows document, and in PuTTY to paste, it's just right click. So when setting up the Masternode VPS, a lot of the time it's just copy and paste. Just adding those lines of text. There will be a few things you need to change, but it is really simple to set it up. So I'm just going to open up my server now, and I'm just going to get my username. Just as a caveat, I don't advise you saving your username anywhere or your password, and you should remember it. Now, for me personally, obviously I can't even get my password right first time. I'm just doing this just for this example video. Anyhow, so right now I've got my VPS all set up, it's upgraded, and now I'm just going to download and install the wallet. So, as I said, it is fairly simple. It is just copy and paste. After you put the lines on, you'll put enter. But if you do leave a gap in between the commands, so an extra line, you copy both those lines. When you paste it into PuTTY, it will treat it as if you're pressing enter. So it's these little things that save time. because I'm male, don't mean to be sexist here, I can't multitask, I pasted that same line twice. So we've just moved on to the next. I've added the tar, which extracts everything. Now I'm going to copy and paste what I need. Okay, so this command here is completely optional. You don't have to input it. I like to input it because basically what it means is if your VPS wallet crashes for any unexpected reasons, it will create a core dump file that you can send to a dev to review. Please don't go spamming devs with going, hey, I've got this file, there you go. It's just there in case they do require it. So as I said, it's optional, you don't need to do it. My practice is I do add it just in case it can give them something useful. Then this command we're going to put in next, nano xsn.conf, will allow you to edit the conf file on your server. So now we've got there, we're going to basically move over to our little thing here. So this is the conf file that you're going to be adding into your Masternode. So it's got all the settings. I will leave this in the guide. I'm not going to put it in the description of the video because it will make it way too long. But basically what you do here is you'll input a random long username full of numbers, letters, and all that jazz. And yet again, you do the same with the password. A long stream of numbers, letters, whatever, just try and make it as unique as possible. I never use this to log on or what it does, so you can save it or whatever you want to do. Now, the two input fields that you will need to change on this is Masternode priv key. This is the key you generated earlier, and the next thing you need to do is the Masternode external IP. This is the IP address of your server. So you put it in there, followed by the colons and 62583, which is the port number. So here's an example I've done earlier, and I'm just going to update it myself with the new priv key I just got, or the gen key. So as you can see here, I've got my username, it's all long, it's random, same with the password. And then I've inputted my priv key I've just generated, and I've got my server IP here, followed by the port number. So once that's all inputted, just copy and paste, put it into your server. Now it's Control X, Y, and enter. And then once that's all up and running, you now want to start your server. There you go. As you can see, it's now saying the XSN server is starting. It'll take a minute for it to start kicking into gear, and then it needs to sync to the blockchain. I'll show you how to check that status, but in the interim, I'm going to show you how to set up your Masternode file for your wallet while that starts running. So the first thing you want to do is close your wallet. Once it's closed, you want to navigate to your XSN core folder in roaming. Now, if you don't know how to do that, generally it's your C drive, users, whatever your username is, app data, roaming, XSN core. If you can't find that file path, the chances are you've not enabled hidden items. But it's quite easy to do. You just go view and tick hidden items. And then you should be able to find that file path right there. So once you're all set up and you're in the XSN core folder in roaming, you've got your little files here which just relates to the wallet. I really don't suggest you delete anything in there, but what you can do is you can open up your masternode.conf here. If it doesn't show as a notepad file, just right click, open with notepad, and then it'll remember it for next time. Once it's opened, it will give you a little example of how it should look in here, and basically what to input. So it really is as simple as you input your alias that you want your Masternode to be known as. I've just gone for MN01. Then you go space, input your server IP there, followed by the port number. Next, you need to input your Masternode gen key. So let's just grab that from the document we saved earlier. And then next is going to be your outputs. So let me just delete that one there. So if we just copy the output from here, I'm going to drag that down. So it will go Masternode gen key, or private key as it's known. Just put the first of your output there. And then you'll have a little bit of outputs in brackets, and little quotation marks there. And then you just need to put that at the end. Don't worry if yours isn't a 0, some of mine are 1, some of mine are 0. It is what it is. Perfect. So as a recap, what you'll have is your Masternode alias there. You'll have your server IP, followed by your port number, so add the little colon in the middle, followed by your Masternode gen key or priv key, whatever you want to call it, your collateral output, and its number at the end, which I believe is called the collateral output index. So just save that there, and you can start to fire your wallet back up again. Now we can check on our server while our wallet starts doing its little thing. So to check the status of your server, you input the command get blockchain info. And basically, as you can see here, it's got the blocks and the headers. Mine's only got 28,000 blocks compared to the 240,000 headers. So you need to wait for that to catch up before you can do the next step. But what you can do in the interim is just double check that your masternode's all there. So as you can see, mine is there. It's no longer going to be active because we've just cancelled and changed the settings. But that's okay. I'll get there in the moment. So guys, I'm going to pause the video here while the server catches up, and I'll be with you in a moment. Okay guys, welcome back. So let's check on our VPS to see whether it's synced. So just use the get blockchain info, put it into your VPS, scroll up, and if blocks equals headers, then you're all synced and you're ready to move on to the next step. Now, if for any reason you're lagging behind the chain, which is the headers, and you can't just keep up, you can't match it, check out the Bootstrap video I did, apply it to your server, and you should be golden. Okay, so the next step we need to do is head over to your Masternode tab, which is just over there in your wallet. Make sure that it's unlocked. And then you'll see your Masternode here. Now the thing is, yours will probably have a negative number, 0 start time saying missing. So all you need to do is click on that there. So select that Masternode, go start alias, go yes, press OK, and then that should be good. So then you can check to see whether it's started. You can head over to your VPS. Let me just get the right file. And you input this Masternode status command. If it says successfully started, brilliant, everything's gone fine. If it says anything else, give it a little bit of time, probably about 10 minutes, come back to it. But if it doesn't say it's successfully started, double check your inputs you've put into the configuration files. Make sure it's fine, double check your address is definitely a legacy address. And if you've got any issues, refer to my guide. If that doesn't solve your problem, come to us in Discord, ask us questions, and we'll be happy to help. Now, as I said earlier, I'm going to recap here very quickly. So in order to run a Masternode, you need a VPS with one unique IPv4 per Masternode. You need a 15,000 XSN collateral, exactly, no more, no less, on a legacy address, which is locked, so you can't move it about. For each Masternode you want to do, you need a unique gen key, the Masternode gen key, and unique Masternode collateral outputs. For every additional Masternode you want to do, basically you just need to add, so for instance, this is what we've put into the Masternode conf file on your local wallet. You'll just add a new line, basically going Masternode 02, followed by the new outputs. So it'd be the unique IPv4, the unique port number, gen key, all that jazz. And you'll do that for each one. And you'd have to do the start alias process, all for it. And now, so that's what you have there for extra Masternodes. You know what you need to do. If you want to monitor your Masternode, you can use your wallet. You can use the Stakenet Cloud. It offers a monitoring service. So that's just a website, one of our websites, where you can log on, you can input your Masternode IP, and you can just monitor it from there. And I believe it will send you notifications via email if anything goes wrong with it. And you could also use the XSN Explorer to check your Masternode IP to see if it's still active. But your first protocol should always be your VPS. That will always tell you the true status of whether your Masternode is running or not. Perfect, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Any questions, give me a shout. I'm Kuasumi. Thank you for watching.